Hello and welcome to Rebels Radio Latest Interview. I'm joined by Slough Joint Manager Neil Baker. How are you, Neil?
Very cold, John.
You're very cold?
It's a cold night.
How was training?
It was very good, actually. Very high tempo, very competitive. Probably as well as we've trained in quite a long time, to be honest. It was a very enjoyable session.
Good. So what have you been up to this week? Obviously, the game against Hungerford called off Monday afternoon, so no game. What have you been up to?
Yeah, obviously it's very difficult to last minute to find somewhere to train on a Monday, so we've only trained the once this week. Myself and John, and obviously yourself, have been out watching games, so in reality the lads probably had four days off, 5 days off from the Leamington game, which, to be honest, probably wasn't the worst thing, because it was a very heavy pitch against Leamington, and they've had a good rest, and so trained very well tonight.
Has anyone had game time this week?
The only one was Gurkhan. Gurkhan played 90 minutes for Cove in the Combined Counties Prem, so it was good that he got some minutes in, into a struggling team who had only won one game all season, but they got a point, so that was positive. Other than that, Jake didn't play. Coiney's struggling a little bit with a sort of hamstring stroke back injury, which he picked up last week. Scott, calf and hamstring were a little bit tight, so we didn't bother risking him midweek.
And in terms of keeping an eye on the other results on Tuesday night, there's some other interesting results. What are you making of the league so far?
You just can't predict anything, I don't think. Results are, they're just, everyone can beat everyone. It's just as simple as that. And if you can get on a decent run, Leamington have just won their last 3 games and are now in with a shot of the playoffs again. It's as simple as that. If you can get a run of like 3 or 4 wins on the bounce, give yourself a real good chance. But yeah, it's a crazy league.
Looking ahead to the weekend, obviously we're away at Paulton. Saturday, what's the squad news?
Well, Stoney's loan's finished now. We were hoping to have him for the Paulton game initially, but they exercised their right to recall him after 28 days, which, to be fair, Justin told us about 10 days ago. So Stoney's gone back. They've had a couple of red cards, so they're struggling numbers wise. So that's why he's gone back. Coiney probably won't be fit. If he is fit, he'll probably get some more minutes for Ascot. Other than that, everyone else is absolutely fine. Rummy trained no problems tonight. No reaction at all from his hamstring, so he was absolutely fine. So we'll go there with probably 15 players with Jake and Scott, and yeah.
And in terms of other squad news, has there been any more 7-day approaches? Any more looking at specific players?
No, we're constantly keeping an eye out. We know we're not the biggest in terms of numbers at the moment. It's one of those difficult. If we go and win a couple of games, Saturday and Tuesday, then you might need to look to bring in a certain player for when Rummy goes, and etc., etc. But we're just sort of playing it a little bit by ear at the moment. We've got half an eye on next season already. We've spoken to 1 or 2 players in regards to that, but we still want to finish as high as we can, and I think with the side we've got at the moment we can do that. But we'll just have to play it by ear a little bit, and if we pick up a couple of injuries, then we might have to go into the loan market a little bit and go from there. But you don't find an awful lot of quality flying around at this stage of the season. It tends to be players that aren't playing somewhere and or have been released from a club, and that's usually for a reason.
And looking ahead to Paulton, obviously 1-2 games on the bounce in our last 2 games, wanting to continue that form. Paulton coming off the back of a defeat on Tuesday night away at Cirencester, struggling second from bottom. What are you going to approach the game like? Well,
we're not going to worry that they're second from bottom, that's for a start. You'll know yourself, you went down to watch them on Tuesday night, and they should have been 3 or 4-0 up at half time. We could tell from Twitter that just how on top they had been, and as you said, they should have been firmly in front at half time, and a goal sort of rocked them a little bit. Their home record's been very good recently. I think they've had some very good results.
I think they've only lost lost one out their last five.
Yeah,
so.
won four out of those 5 games. So like if anyone thinks that we're just going to go there and turn them over, it's absolutely no chance there. Seeing the pitch is very, very heavy.
So they've had a lot of games called off there.
Had a lot of games called off, but we saw the highlights from the Stratford game, and it didn't look good, if I'm brutally honest. But listen, they've picked up. Whether they picked up with enough time, they're probably going to have to get above Frome and Histon to do that. Obviously, Tuesday's result won't have helped them. They will look at Saturday's game as a must-win for them. Because I think they then have some very tough games after. I think they play Frome and then I think something like Redditch, Hungerford, and somebody else. So it's important for them that they get the result. But we know it's going to be a really, really tough game.
And how do you get the players up for that? Because it's often that it's been levelled at the side that against the top teams they raise it, but sometimes against some of the teams that seem to be a little bit lower down the league, they perhaps drop their levels off a bit.
I'd say obviously we lost twice to Bedworth. Other than that, the other teams at the bottom, we've beaten Histon twice. We beat Bideford at home. We beat Paulton at home, and we drew with Frome at home. So, it's not as bad as people make out. Unfortunately, whenever you lose a game against a side near the bottom or you drop points, everyone instantly thinks, it's not good enough. And I think we've got to ignore the fact that Paulton is second from bottom. Their record over the last 6 to 8 games suggests that they've picked up, that they're probably mid-table side on current form. So we know we've got to be right at the top of our game to get anything out of it. So, the fact is we need to get the lads up for the game. We've got a coach journey. Hopefully they'll be nice and relaxed when we get there, and they'll be ready for a fight.
Excellent. Well, thanks ever so much for that time. Other things going on this weekend, obviously there's the Supporters Trust event on Sunday. You're going to be going along?
Yeah, I'm going to be trying. I might be playing in a Vets game myself this weekend, and I'm waiting to find out at the moment. If I'm not playing in it, then I'll be popping along for an hour or so. If I am, unfortunately, I won't be able to make it, but I'll look to try and make the next event. But
really important to get the club out there, and especially ahead of the new ground.
Absolutely, it's good that Daniel organises this, and it's only a good thing for the community. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of community ventures going forward, and it's good that the guys get together and sort of try and promote Slough within the town.
Excellent. Well, thanks ever so much for your time against Neil and your insight, and we will speak to you after the weekend.
Thank you very much, Tom.
Cheers.